How much time?
I'm sorry, I yield two minutes to the gentlelady from Maryland.
The gentlelady is recognized for 2 minutes.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. And I thank my colleague from Maryland and my friend from Maryland and his leadership on the Budget Committee and the Democrats on the Budget Committee. Because, you know, Mr. Speaker, Congress is really tasked with, at this time of year, developing a budget that lays out our nation's priorities and spending. But those priorities really should reflect our values. And as hard as it is to imagine, and it is hard, this price budget resolution is actually worse than the previous Ryan budgets for hardworking American families. Once again, we see how little Republicans value protecting critical priorities that actually help Americans live a healthy life and enjoy a secure retirement. And in fact, the Republican budget would force working families to pay more in taxes. It would make college education less affordable. It would force seniors to pay more for their health care and prescription drugs. It would end the Medicare guarantee by turning it into a voucher program. And lastly, Mr. Speaker, it would block grant both Medicaid and supplemental nutrition assistance programs. The fact is that this budget would decimate our nation's already crumbling infrastructure by reducing funding by 19% over the next decade. And if you would imagine that, that means that every road that needs to be repaired, the bridges that are falling apart, the mass transit that needs investing in, and this budget would actually cut our spending by 19% over the next decade. And it would require an additional $318 billion from federal and postal employees and their retirees, hard-working people who've given all that they can to deficit reduction. In fact, that's a constituency that's already contributed $159 billion in deficit reduction. Mr. Speaker, Republican priorities are making tax cuts for the wealthy permanent, and they're shrinking the size of government regardless of the damage, great damage, that it would cause. House Democrats, I believe, are investing in hardworking Americans. We've said it's important for us to improve access to high-quality child care and dependent care. It's important to invest in quality education for all our children. It's important to end the draconian, across-the-board sequester cuts. May I have an additional 30 seconds?
I yield the gentlelady another 30 seconds.
Gentlelady is recognized for additional 30 seconds.
Thank you. The Democrats' budget really would protect seniors' health care and retirement. It would create jobs in America through rebuilding our infrastructure and supporting jobs by making sure our nation's manufacturers get to invest in the research and development that they need. In short, Mr. Speaker, I urge my colleagues to vote down this draconian Republican budget and support each of the Democratic alternatives. I know I'll be voting for them because each of them, even though they're different, would be way better than the draconian budget that's been proposed by Republicans. And I thank my colleague from Maryland for his leadership. We need to invest in America's future, including our hardworking men and women. With that, I yield.